Everybody, this is Dan from Sycamore Tree, and it's Sunday. I actually went to Mass last night, hanging out, surveying my life. There is a cancer that is really prevalent in almost everyone I know. At least the potential is there. It's in seed form, and it's the cancer of wanting to be liked. Now, the funny thing is that I actually thought I was pretty good at managing that, but the reality is I'm horrible at it. I think a lot of the destruction in my life has been a result of wanting to be liked. A lot of the relational destruction in my life has been about wanting to be liked and defending my likability. So what am I talking about? So when injustices come, and they're gonna come, and when those injustices come from someone who's close to us, what do we do? Well, if the cancer of wanting to be liked has sunk its roots into our heart, in other words, it drives us, it is the motivating factor behind what we do, then this is what we do. We try to convince the other person that we should be liked instead of being treated unjustly. And if that doesn't work, we try to convince the other person that their injustice is unjust. And so whether it's a real injustice or a fake one, really what happens is we're not responding necessarily to the injustice. And this is the crux of the matter. There could be a real injustice, okay? Or there could be a perceived injustice triggered by our desire to be liked. In other words, you don't seem like you like me right now, therefore you must be wrong, therefore I need to fix it, okay? So how does this apply, for instance, to me? So I just had an email exchange, and I tried to let the person know that I had made an effort to be more than accommodating, to be generous. And the response I got back was, you didn't do that to be generous, you did it for this reason. It was not, you're not generous, it's this. And what is my response? Well, of course, that hooks in me, and I respond wanting to say that, no, you don't understand. You should like me, you should appreciate me, you should appreciate my efforts. But the reality is that doesn't serve any purpose. There's no purpose that it serves trying to convince someone else that you should be liked. Because the reality is that the opposite becomes true in the other person. So now they're saying, when you say you should like me for this, what the other person hears oftentimes is, I'm not likable because your perception of me. So you must be wrong. And it's just a vicious cycle. Okay, so and that's where things go bad. So if I say you should like me, then I'm shoulding on you, and your response is going to be, well, you don't know. Of course I'm right, because if I'm wrong, I might not be likable. And this is a horrible, horrible cycle that we can get into. Anyhow, so what does this have to do with faith? So Jesus gives us a lot of ways to deal with this. But foremost, we imitate him in what? In his desire to love and serve God, to do what is right, even if he isn't liked. So the hardest thing to do is to love when you're being hated. So to be generous, to be my favorite word in the world, magnanimous, even when other people are being emotionally stingy or worse, when they're trying to take you down. Jesus says that bless those who curse you, pray for those who persecute you. How can we do that? Well, there's only one way. We need to love God and allow his love to flow in us. I think it's St. Peter that said, when you speak, speak as though you're speaking the very oracles of God. And we know what is God's message to the world constantly? It is, I love you. I desire good for you. Follow my commandments, right? So love, 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 truth, 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 love, 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 truth, 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 love and truth go hand in hand. So, and the love is not, or the truth is not about self. God doesn't tell us the truth for his sake. He tells us the truth for our sake. We ask him to glorify himself for his sake, or give us the glory because we'll reflect it back upon him. And that's because that's our perspective. That's what God wants us to want. It's the right order. Anyhow, don't want to get off track. Got a little off track there. But so what does Peter say? He says, speak as though speaking the very oracles of God. He says, serve with the strength that Christ gives. So when we do these things, when we're generous, magnanimous, self-giving in the face of stinginess, hatred, judgment, not being liked, not being appreciated, not being even wanted, being rejected, what do? We serve with what? The strength that Christ gives. What kind of strength did Christ give? The kind of strength that says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's what he said from the cross. And his followers said that. Stephen said something very similar at his martyrdom, the first martyr. So we see this pattern. We're called to be like that. That's just not Jesus's territory. That's meant to be our territory. This is Dan Wagner from Sycamore Tree Catholic Evangelism and Apologetics. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.